Friends, it's Everything Mayor. I'm your host, Tom Butwin. A couple days late this week, but we're getting an episode out. And as is often the case, when I wait, something comes out for us to talk about. And we are talking about, again, new music. And thanks to Kathy and Mimi, some of my loyal listeners, for sending me the People magazine article, where John had some words to say about what we can expect for his new record. Now, I am here to quell the panic. I'm here to comfort you because you might not be hearing what you want to hear in this article, and that's okay. But I'm going to tell you why it's okay. We're going to read the article. It's pretty short. Let's just get to it right now. But before we do that, I will say, stick around for the after dinner mint, which is the end portion of the show. You OG listeners and viewers know what that's all about. But I'm going to talk about some future plans for a new video series on this channel. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video for that. But let's talk about this article. We're going to read the whole thing to the best of my ability. So John Mayer was in New York City this week supporting his friend Jeff Ross. He's got a show on Broadway, which is super cool. It's a comedy thing, a little autobiographical deal. I would love to see that, actually. A lot of people, a lot of star-studded attendees to the opening night for that. But it appears as though that is when someone from People magazine, as I scrolled at the top of this article, had the chance to speak to John about some of his new music. And, John Mayer says he could put out a record right now, but shares why he won't. The exclusive. Now, if you've been listening to this channel, watching this channel for a while, as we read this, you're not going to be surprised. Do not be disheartened. Spoiler alert, this is nothing we didn't already know. If you are in the John Mayer superfan circle, someone who listens to Life with John Mayer on Sirius, that sort of thing, nothing that he says here is going to surprise you. Now, if you haven't been paying attention, and this is your first time thinking about what Mayer might be doing with his new album or new music, then you could be disappointed. But I have a feeling a lot of us have already been through this disappointment before. There's nothing to be disappointed about. I promise you. Need to know. They give you a summary. Isn't that fun? You know what? Let's just read the article. Don't hold your breath for new John Mayer music at the moment. Ahead of upcoming performances of September and October, the 47-year-old Grammy winner is opening up about where he's at in the process of making new music and why fans won't hear it for some time. It's coming out of me, Mayer tells People of new music at the opening night of the new Broadway show Jeff Ross, Take a Banana for the Ride at the Nederlander Theater in New York City on Monday, August 18th. I don't know when it's coming out, but I've been going around making music, touring for a lot of years. And I think it would make sense at this stage in my life to just take a breather and figure out when I want to do it and how I want to do it. So I'm enjoying just taking it day by day and doing the projects that I love. I have enough songs that I could put out a record right now, clarified Mayer. But if I put out a record right now, I would want to go on the road, and I just want to take a minute and practice this newfound going with the flow. The guitarist's free outlook on life comes from his time performing with Dead and Company, which wrapped a residency at Sphere in Las Vegas last month. Mayer explains what he's learned from the psychedelic rock band Let It Happen, he says, and I have to relearn that all the time. The number of times that they've winged it or we've winged it, and I said, you can't wing it. No, I realize the irony. This is the Grateful Dead, or this is Bob and Mickey and Billy from the Dead. But my thing was always, oh, you got to stretch it, he continues. Some of the best shows we've ever played were just letting it go and playing, says Mayer, and so it's taught me how to do that. And thus concludes the hard-hitting journalism from People magazine. Now, as you can see, while the Mayer fan, the casual Mayer fan, may be startled by this. Maybe you saw him on the solo tour and you haven't thought about the new music since then. We aren't startled by this. Don't be startled by this. This is exactly what he's been saying the whole time. He envisions a tour following, rightfully so, a new record. He's not ready to do that. He's been very busy. He's got tons of side quests. He's talked about that. We've talked about it. Nothing new here. So, I've made some predictions before. A lot of you have asked me, like, oh, when do you think we're going to get a single? When do you think we're going to get a record? I don't know. I really don't think 2026 is off the table, though. I really do think that deciding to do these festival shows in the fall, I think is the precursor to what's coming. He's keeping the engine warm, getting the band back together, literally, going out and playing some shows. Will we hear new music? Don't know. We saw that Driftin' was put into oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the performing rights organization now. Someone remind me of the whole episode I did about this. It's Irving Azoff's outfit. I can't believe I can't think of that. Unbelievable. But so we kind of made a prediction that might be one of the first things you hear. Maybe he's gearing up for that to be played in the set at one of these festival shows coming up. We don't know. We'll see. I do think it's closer than we think. I think it's closer than that article would make you feel. And I don't think that means that it's next week. But, I think realistically, 2026, I think you could see new music and a new tour of some sort. It does, I think, depend on what the plans are with Dead & Company. I mean, if you look at Dead & Company, the opportunity, the window of time to do that in the current configuration, it's closing. It's not going to be there forever. I don't know how much more Bob Weir wants to do this. And I look at him as kind of like he's the key piece that's got to be there if they're going to keep doing it in that form. So it's interesting. We'll just have to wait and see. If there's another Sphere residency next year, that's going to get in the way of this, and that's okay because I really want to go see it, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't be super upset about that. But I do think it's just going to remain to be seen how that goes. I think the Dead & Company thing is a huge portion of it. Now they just did some pretty epic shows for the 60th in San Francisco. And again, we talked about those. I didn't get the vibe that was like a farewell thing. But certainly if it was, then, I mean, what better way to go out for Dead & Company? But we just have to wait and see. The main point here is that I don't think anyone should panic. The People.com, People Magazine article really didn't tell us anything that we didn't already know. So there you go. This is going to be an abridged show tonight. The applause for those of you who are new or maybe aren't used to this happening 7.5 minutes into an episode means we are at the After Dinner Mint. And for today's After Dinner Mint, I want to talk to you about something that I'm going to be doing on this channel in conjunction with regular episodes, a new series. And we're going to test this out. I've been kicking this around for a while, and it's going to be for members, though. It's going to be for members, so those of you who are members will have access to this. And we may have to shuffle around the two membership levels. I'm not so sure yet. I'm going to do a members-only episode soon. We're going to all discuss that and try to figure out what to do there. But there's a few reasons why this series is going to be members-only eventually. The first episode, the first installment of this series will, I think, just appear as a regular episode. But what we're going to do is we are going to break down recordings, both live and studio, using some artificial intelligence that can create what are called stems from the recordings. Now, what would be amazing is if I could have access to the actual multi-track recordings from Mayer's records. I don't have access to that. But if you remember back to when Sob Rock came out, Christian James Hand, a radio DJ, a music expert, he does a show very similar to this, and so kudos to him for kind of inspiring this, where the artist will give him the multi-track recording and he can isolate instruments and parts and pieces of the song, and he did that for, I believe it was Last Train Home from Sob Rock. So we're going to do that, and I already know what we're going to do for the first public episode. But this is going to be behind the membership paywall for those of you who are members. Now, again, there are two levels to membership. I haven't decided how I'm going to navigate that yet. But if you're interested in supporting the channel, interested in seeing this, consider joining as a member. But here's the deal. I'm not going to ask you to do that blindly. I'm not going to ask you to do that if you're not a member already without seeing what this is going to be. So I'm going to do an episode, either the next episode or the episode after that is going to be sort of a trial run for this. And again, this is not a money-making venture for me just in general. I appreciate those of you who are supporting because it really makes it easier to do. But this is a labor of love for this music and this artist. So the biggest reason I'm doing this behind the membership wall is because I will be up against some copyright strike issues if I don't. The last episode, I actually used this AI to pull the Belief guitar solo out. And only about 8 seconds of only the guitar solo, not the rest of the song, not the vocal, nothing, got the video flagged and blocked. So I had to cut it to about 1.5 seconds. Now, if you listen to the podcast audio, like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you get the whole solo. But I can't have that happen every time I put out a video, because not only do I not get the very little advertising revenue that I make off of each one of these episodes, but it also, it gives you a choice. You have to either cut out that section of the show or it will just completely block your video just entirely. So Rick Beato, if you're familiar with Rick, great guy. I've had the pleasure of spending some time with him. He actually just put out a video about his struggles with this. And it's pretty incredible that he is staring down having his channel removed. He's one of the most prolific YouTubers there ever is or was. And he is dealing with this from major music groups, just automated going after fair use of pieces of sound recording, sometimes with the actual artist on the show itself, which is kind of crazy. So to avoid that, we are going to put these on the membership portion. Think of it like a Patreon. And the members, you're going to get song by song breakdowns. Now, I am a musician. I'm a vocalist. I'm a guitar player. I'm not by no means an expert. I will not bore you with music theory. However, I do have quite a bit of experience recording, engineering recordings, and performing. So I hope that we can break down these songs in an interesting way, and in a way you've not heard them before. And I think it'll be really cool. I did this with Belief just as a test, and I found parts in that song. I've been listening to that song since 2006 when it came out, and I found parts in that song that were being played that I had no idea were there. So I hope that you will be excited to do the same thing. We're going to do some live recordings too, and see how it works with breaking those apart. So that is what's in store. That's what's coming. I'm excited about it. I hope you are as well. Stay tuned for the pilot episode of that. I haven't thought of a name for the series yet. Track by track or something. That doesn't really do it, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Like I said, it's a bit of a shorter episode tonight, but I wanted to get this out. I wanted to calm, dismiss your fears when it comes to John Mayer's new music. It's on the way. It's on the way. I'm sure of it. Nothing to worry about. Thanks to People Magazine for giving our guys some time, though. He looked incredibly cool, by the way. He's a style icon. Let's just say it. Come on. I wish I could pull an outfit like that off. I don't think I can. I am wearing my glasses, though. So thanks to John for inspiring me to do that. My eyes are just tired. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye.